Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and we've got some awesome spice for you guys today. We are running Gigalith in the Great League. Gigalith, while being quite squishy, has a fantastic moveset of Smackdown, Superpower, and Rock Slide. For this team, I decided to run Chestnut in the lead. Chestnut is a very strong pick in the Great League, but it does have quite a few weaknesses that rock types cover quite well. I put Gigalith on the safe swap, as it will draw out any rock counters the opponent has, and that will allow Bastiodon as my closer to be able to sweep endgame. I tried out this team for a full day, and actually went positive with a record of 14 wins and 11 losses. And so let's hop into the battles and take a look at Gigalith in action in the Great League. And we're hopping into the first battle here, leading Chestnut into a Medicham. So this is a really tough lead, as Medicham actually is a core breaker for this team. So it can do really good damage against our whole team. It can hit all 3-4 super effective. We go straight away for the energy ball and we land it, which is fantastic. And they're going to counter with a power-up punch that we unfortunately shield. That's absolutely crushing, and we are going to have to let this go. It's another power-up punch, and we were trying to get to the energy ball and weren't able to get there. So we are going to have to eat a power-up punch on Gigalith, and things are really not going well for us. That power-up punch did so much, and so we are down a shield, and we're in a tough spot. But they may not know about superpower. We landed the superpower, instantly swap out into our Bastiodon as they swap into Tropius. And so this is a good matchup, but keep in mind, we're in a shield deficit. This is going to be difficult. We do shield up the Leaf Blade, as Leaf Blade would probably do more than any charge move coming from Bastiodon. Going straight for the Stone Edge, that is of course going to get the shield, because they do want to get a charge move off on us. And this is going to be doing a pretty sizable chunk, as you can see there, and we don't have a lot of health left, so any health that's taken away really hurts, and we go straight for the Flamethrower. We are able to get that last shield. This is going to be really tough. We're building up some energy. We swap out into the Gigalith. We're able to catch that charge move. It's the Flamethrower. We can survive one more Smackdown, and on 1 HP, we are able to get off the Flamethrower that takes out the opponent's Bastiodon and gives us the game. So as you can see, Superpower from Gigalith really helped us flip what was a terrible match into a potential win. Hopping to the next match, this is another core breaker for the team. Toxicroak is so incredibly tough for this team, as our backline has no answer for it, and it can hit our lead for super effective. We do shield up the Sludge Bomb, and we're going to go for the back-to-back superpowers. If they choose not to shield, these two would take them out. I am fully expecting them to shield though. And they actually let it go, which is absolutely massive. Now we safe swap into Gigalith and draw out the Galarian Stunfisk. We're going for the superpower right away, as we don't want to wait for them to earthquake us, and we're able to land it, so we do massive damage onto that Stunfisk, and they are forced to throw. So we're going to let this go. At this point, Gigalith has served its purpose, and we're going to come back in with the Chestnut to attack the Stunfisk. We're going to let this go. It is just the Rock Slide, which we can survive, and we're over farming. Able to over farm quite a bit and go for the Superpower. Superpower actually does pick up the shield. They swap in Frostlass, and we swap in Bastiodon. Bastiodon should be in a pretty good spot here, as we can tank a Shadow Ball. We really don't have to worry about that, and then we're just going to be able to smack all the way down, or smack down all the way down. Either works. We can eat another Shadow Ball, that's fine, but we have so much energy now, and we're going to be able to fire off this first Flamethrower to get the shield, and they are going to have to throw quickly, because if not, then we are going to be able to get to another Flamethrower. And we're able to get to another Flamethrower. This is going to be enough to take out the Galarian Stunfisk and to give us the game. So even with a really hard counter team, we were still able to take the win. Hopping into the next match, leading Chestnut into a Defense Deoxys. This is a difficult match for us, as Defense Deoxys, if it has Psycho Boost, is going to be able to hit us for massive super effective damage. We're going straight for the Energy Ball. It lands, but Defense Deoxys is extremely tanky. We are going to let this go. It's just the Rock Slide, and we're going to aggressively swap into Gigalith, and they counter with a Meganium. And we are over farming here and building up to 2 superpowers to try and pressure some shields. They do shield, and we're able to get to the second superpower, so we're able to get both moves off, which is fantastic. They are going to be able to farm down, which is less than ideal, but we were able to get a shield advantage. We can let this go. All charge moves are going to be resisted. It's just that Frenzy Plant, and they're able to get to a second Frenzy Plant. We're going to let this go and trust in Bastodon, as Gigalith did its job of getting us a shield. Unfortunately, they're able to get to a move right before we're able to take them out. It is the Frenzy Plant, and they aggressively swap in Deoxys. Deoxys is going to throw what's probably a Thunderbolt. It is the Thunderbolt, and we're not shielding, we're farming all the way down. And it really depends what they have in the back. They're taking their time, and it's an Alolan Marowak. So Gigalith was able to draw out their rock counter, and now their back line is very, very weak to rock. And we're able to get to the Stone Edge. This is going to be doing massive, super effective damage to that Alolan Marowak. They're able to get to a move, but we snuck a smackdown through. So we can shield this. The Marowak dies, and Meganium is low enough where we can take it out. So really well played to my opponent there, but we were able to take the win thanks to Gigalith. Hopping to the next match against Mew. Mew is difficult because you never know what moveset it's going to have, of course, and if it has Flame Charge, that's going to hurt quite a bit. I'm going to shield this up. It's just the Surf. I really don't know the counts on Mew, and I probably should, but unfortunately, I just don't. It's just one of those things that I'm going to have to learn. Going straight for the Energy Ball, we do get the shield. And Mew's throwing, and this will probably be the Wild Charge. Oh, it's a Thunderbolt. Ah, I see someone ran out of Charge TMs. That'll happen, though. I currently have no Charge TMs. We're able to take Switch, which is absolutely fantastic. And we are going to safe swap into our Gigalith, which is exactly what we needed to do. And we survived the Night Slash, able to get to the superpower, so we're able to bait out the fighter in back with Gigalith. Unfortunately, they somehow know about the superpower. Oh no! I come in with Chestnut. I am going to have to shield up this charge move, but they're switch locked in. So if I can beat them to the next charge move, and I'm able to get to the superpower, and from here, this is good game. Superpower is going to be doing more than enough, and then we're going to be able to go into Bastodon on their Skarmory, and my opponent concedes the match. So yet another person falling victim to Team Gigalith. Alright, hopping to the next match, picking up a really good lead. Oh, and this is actually against Mark's son IRL, who is a fantastic content creator, a YouTuber, and Twitch streamer. And he's running the Obstagoon double charm line. And so we're going to go straight for the Stone Edge right away because they get to the charge move right here. So I wanted to get the energy out before they hit me with the charge move. It's going to be the Play Rough, and we're going to be able to farm them all the way down. And Goon's going to be able to come in and farm us all the way down, but we are going to be able to get off a Stone Edge to soften up the Goon. Stone Edge does come through, and they're going to be able to farm us all the way down. I was a little worried that they may have enough for either a Hyper Beam or a Gunk Shot. So with them having this much energy, I do decide to commit the shield. It is just a cross chop, and they're going to aggressively swap into the Alolan Ninetales. I do make a mistake. There was no reason to throw this energy. I should have just switched into Gigalith, and Gigalith is able to farm down. Obstagoon comes out, but as you can see, Gigalith has a higher attack stat than Bastodon, so those smackdowns are doing a lot more than they would from Bastodon, and we're able to smack down the Obstagoon and take the win. So unfortunately, he does end up dying with 2 shields. Hopping into the next match, picking up a really negative lead in Frostlass, and we instantly safe swap into Gigalith, and we draw out an Azumarill. And Azumarill, this is a tough matchup for Gigalith, but if we can land a Rock Slide, we're in a really good spot. And we land a Rock Slide. So we're in a pretty favorable spot here, and we may be able to flip switch. We're going to shield up the Play Rough, And let's see if we can farm down. Unfortunately, we're not able to farm down, but by committing both shields, we are going to be able to flip switch, which is going to be huge in this game. And they are going to be coming back in with the Frost Blast, so I'm going to want to be clicking on the Rock Slide. Unfortunately, I clicked on the wrong move, so I accidentally threw Superpower. Fortunately, they do shield it up, so no harm done. Now that we have Switch, we can line up our Bastodon onto the Frost Blast, and Chestnut will not have to face it, so we'll have to see what they have in the back. And they have an Umbreon. So Chestnut's in a pretty good spot here. I'm going to build up to 2 superpowers, but I am going to actually bait with the higher energy move, being the Energy Ball, so I can try and get the shield with the Energy Ball and then land the super effective superpower. And they actually call my bait, so really nice play there. Charge move coming through. This is probably just the... Oh, it actually is the last resort. I stand corrected there. I messed up my counts. And we're going to go for the superpower, and it connects. I don't know why they're saving a shield there. And ooh, this is going to be very close, because one Shadow Ball is going to get us low. If they get to another one, this is game over. And ooh, they were really close to getting the energy for that Shadow Ball when I took them out there. So a very good game. Again, a terrible lead, but we have 2 good answers. We swap Gigalith. They bring out Umbreon. Umbreon is not a great answer to Gigalith, as I'm going to be able to get shields with superpower, and I can tank whatever they throw at me. Foul play, that's fine, we can tank that. Now we're going to be able to go for the back-to-back superpowers. And this should be able to get a shield, because this will be doing massive damage to Umbreon. And ooh, it's actually a CMP tie. So I normally don't like to commit a shield, but here I want to get this damage off onto Umbreon. I want to make my Chestnut have an easier job. So I'm going for the superpower, and that does a ton of damage. And they're going to be forced to throw, which they do to avoid another superpower. And now that Umbreon is quite low, so I can come in with Chestnut, and if I want, I can actually farm all the way down and gain a ton of energy on Chestnut to threaten whatever decides to come in, probably that Tropius. And we're able to farm down. We're at 2 superpowers, and we are going to try and soften up that Tropius with superpowers. First superpower comes through, does some chip, and we come in with our Bastodon, and they have an Alolan Muck, which is not something you see every day in the Great League. That's a lot more common in the Ultra League, so very cool to see someone running some Spice as well. And these charge moves, Bastodon's not worried about them. We can let these Dark Pulses through, and looks like we got a Smackdown through as we threw the charge move. Not sure how that works. They actually let it go, which really surprised me. They're going to come back in with the Tropius, and we're able to get to a charge move. And this charge move is going to be getting that last shield. And then we're going to aggressively swap out into Chestnut and throw the Superpower. Superpower is going to be doing some solid chunk damage, and they try and overfarm, and we're able to get to another Superpower. So Chestnut is a Tropius counter confirmed, and we're able to take the game. So a very well played to my opponent there. GG's all around. Hopping into the next match against Tio Pikachu. So I guess it's my uncle who's a Pikachu. Another Tropius lead. They were very common tonight. So, and again, a safe swap into an Umbreon. So this is a very popular combination right now. We can let the first one go through. And if they were a little slower on their swap than the previous player, then we should be able to hopefully get to the back-to-back superpowers and not have to expend a shield. First superpower does get the shield. Second one is going to be able to get off, which is fantastic. So now we don't have to worry about shielding, but my opponent panic throws. So now, even though we don't have switch, we've set up Bastodon in a shield advantage where Bastodon's going to do well. They aggressively swap in Tropius, probably to draw out the other Smackdown user. So nice play by my opponent to draw out the Bastodon. Here I am a little worried about what they do have in back. So I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to try and overfarm here by 2, and then I'm going to go straight for the Stone Edge. And Stone Edge is going to be doing super effective damage and taking out the Tropius. We'll have to see what they have in the back. They bring out the Umbreon. So I'm reading that it could be something weak to Bastodon. I'm a little confused. We're able to catch the charge move onto Chestnut, and let's see if we can draw out whatever's in back. And it is a Sableye. So it is the Tropius, Sableye, and Umbreon team. And from here, since we're able to land the energy ball, we're in a really good spot. We can safely no-shield this. It's a foul play. They tried to bait. We called the bait. We're going for a superpower just because at this range it is going to be enough to take it out, and we do get a shield. And we simul-feint, and now we're going to be able to... Oh, it looks like the opponent saw the writing on the wall and conceded the match. So good game to my opponent, and we're hopping into the next match. Chestnut into Galarian Stunfisk. This is great for us. They safe swap Sableye, and we're going to come in with Gigalith. And this matchup is a little tough for Gigalith, but we can get a shield back with this Rock Slide, and so long as we commit the second shield, then we're going to be able to smack down and take Switch. Oh, and they actually messed up. They were trying to get to a move, weren't able to do so, and quit the match, so good games there. So hopping into the next match here, leading Chestnut into an Azumarill. This is a great lead for us. This is where we want to see it. They come out with Abomasnow, and we come in with Gigalith. And so long as we can correctly shield the energy ball, which we do, now we're in a safe position to farm all the way down, and we're going to be able to threaten the Azumarill with Rock Slides. They're waiting their clock, coming back in with Azumarill. I overfarm by a bit, and I'm going straight for the Rock Slide. And Rock Slide, as you can see, does a solid chunk to Azumarill. We're able to get to another one because they're overfarming, and this is going to be getting that Azumarill incredibly low unless they do shield, which they do, and they are able to farm us down. But an important thing about Azumarill is they cannot hold two Ice Beams simultaneously, and that's even a play rough. They're going to switch out into Marowak, and we have Bastodon for the Marowak. So we're in a really commanding position here. So my opponent is very clearly running an anti-Grass Hole team, but our team covers anti-Grass Hole very well. So we are in a good spot. We're able to let that Bone Club through. We're not too worried about that. And they are going to be able to get off another move. We are going to need to commit the shield, but we're going to be able to apply a lot of pressure onto this Azumarill. Going straight for the Stone Edge, this is going to be getting Azumarill shield, and unless they can farm me down, which due to the bubble nerf they cannot, I am able to get to another Stone Edge, and that takes out Azumarill and gives us the game. So very well played to my opponent. Unfortunately, it was just hard counter city. Unfortunately, in that match. Hopping into the next match, leading Chestnut into another Azumarill. So again, a fantastic lead for us. They safe swap into Wigglytuff. For Charmer switch-ins, I like to swap in Bastodon. Specifically, due to the Steel subtyping, it is able to withstand those charms a lot better than Gigalith. Stone Edge lands, and they actually do throw a bit later. So they're going for the play rough because they do want to give Azu some farm. I'm able to farm down. We are close to a Stone Edge, and we're going to be able to land that on a Azumarill, and that's going to do, you know, a non-insignificant amount of damage. Not a lot. Its attack stat is very low, but hey, it all adds up. And if they're going to try and farm me down, they're going to have to eat another Stone Edge, and they tried to farm me down. Bubble was nerfed, man. Farm downs are harder than they used to be. And they are able to farm us down. Again, like last time, they can throw one move, but we can survive any one move. They can't hold two, and they are going to switch out into Abomasnow, and we have Gigalith for Abomasnow. We're in a really good spot here as we can safely shield up the Gigalith and smack all the way down, and then we're going to be able to apply quite a bit of pressure to Azu, which is going to be forced to throw if they do want to take us out before the smackdowns kill us. And we're able to smack down even Azu. So Gigalith closing out the match. So as you can see, normally I do like to counter swap Gigalith, but if it's a Charmer, Bastodon with the Steel subtyping is the way to go. Another Azumarill. What a Pokemon, what a unique Pokemon that I've never seen before. Honestly, I feel like the amount of Azumarills has been down this season, so props to everyone for branching out. We are going to shield up the Ice Beam and go straight for the Energy Ball, which I imagine is going to be getting their shield. It does, that makes perfect sense. And what I'm imagining here is we may see them, oh, okay. So it looks like that we are going to be committing the second shield, and oh, they're able to catch, but I was actually baiting. So they caught on Stunfisk, and that didn't work out the way they were hoping for, so Perfect. We're able to get the shield, and we aggressively swap into Gigalith to reset our debuffs, and they were baiting with the Rock Slide. Oh no. This is not what you want to see if you're the Stunfisk. And Stunfisk's going to be able to get to another charge move. That's the Earthquake that takes out Gigalith. We're going to come back in with Chestnut, and we are going to have to eat a Rock Slide, but Rock Slide is resisted, so we're not worried about that. And we're going to be able to farm down, and now we have a ton of energy for whatever decides to come in. It's a Ninetales, so we're going straight for the superpower. Lands the superpower, they swap in Azu. We see that they swap in, and we throw the Energy Ball. An Energy Ball is going to be doing massive damage. We swap in Bastodon, and my opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. And we're hopping into the final game here. I did want to showcase all of the wins that I had with this team because it was so much fun picking up a Shift Tree lead. This is a really good matchup. Unfortunately, there's a ton of lag to start the match. We're finally able to catch back up. If they're running Hurricane, they can easily one-shot us, but almost no one runs Hurricane in Open Great League. It's just the Leaf Blade. And we're going to be going straight for the Superpower. And Superpower, of course, does get the shield. We're going to want to commit a shield just because we are debuffed. And then we're going to fire back with another Superpower. This is going to be getting that second shield. And we're going to aggressively swap into Gigalith. And they counter with a Swampert. And Swampert does... It is a really good rock counter, but we're able to hit hard with Superpower. And they are going to be throwing what's more than likely just the Hydro Cannon, but with the debuff, that's way more than enough to take us out. We come back in with Chestnut. We're able to farm all the way down, and now we have switch advantage. Sorry, we don't have switch advantage, but we do have shield advantage. Unfortunately, our switch timer is not up, so our poor Chestnut gets absolutely decimated, but we have Bastodon in back, and Bastodon with shield advantage is incredibly, incredibly strong. Even if they Brave Bird us, that does absolutely nothing. They swap in with Shift Tree. We can safely let this go. That Leaf Blade, that's fine. Another charge move coming through. We can let this go as well. Totally fine. And we were over farming, unfortunately got a little too greedy, so we're going to have to shield that. Then we're going to be able to farm all the way down. And then we have the Flamethrower for Skarmory, and my opponent concedes the match. So as I mentioned, we did end up going 14-11, a positive day running Gigalith. And I was really happy because I ended up really picking this team because I was getting frustrated with the climb. I was trying to run meta stuff and it wasn't working out too well. And who knew that by running Spice, we were able to actually pick up some positive sets and move up for the day. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you're new and you enjoy this kind of content, definitely hit that subscribe button. It's free and helps out the channel so much. And I will see you guys in the next video.